Coming back, part 2 of the Fraser LeVay podcast this week. If you missed part 1, it was mostly NFL based. And part 2, we do a bit of college football. If you don't care about college football and you just came for our blazing hot television takes, hang on. It's only about 10 minutes of college football picks for the college football playoff. Or just fast forward ahead 5-10 minutes. Get into some Yellowstone, the best series of all time, ranked. A bit of Gladiator, and the biggest hoax of all time. I forgot to mention that. So, part 1, if you missed it, go back for the NFL. Here comes part 2. Let's go. All right, you want college or Yellowstone? Let's go college.
All right.
We have to do some picks, and I think we got to mark this down. I'm actually going to mark this down.
Yeah. Did you get the bowl pool I sent you?
I did. Yes.
Perfect.
For anyone who wants to be in a bowl pool, text me or Blaise. And it's the worst pool in the history of pools, but it's also the best pool in the history.
It's a little different this year because you couldn't do all the different numbers, but whatever. There's still nothing better than when it's like the 28th and you're just sitting at home on the holidays and like roast beef tech is playing West Virginia A&M. And it's like a 7.5 point spread, and you take the points, and next thing you know they're down 21, but it's not over. So you keep watching. It's just something awesome. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love just having these random college games and having a pick on them so that we have to watch.
Yeah. So anyone doesn't know, it's a bowl pool we've been in for I don't know, ever.
Yeah, and 10 years at least.
You pick every single game, and against the spread, and so who knows what's going to happen. Yeah. And the one year I won. I think I've actually won twice now, but one year I won, and like I think I was dead last. That's right. This is why it was so good.
You went worst to first, or first to worst.
Yeah, no, worst. Yeah, the worst. What I did the year prior was harder than what anyone's done in the history of this pool. I think I got something like 20 straight games wrong.
Yeah,
like remember?
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
It was uncanny how poorly I picked the games. And I think that year I was paying attention to. Tech was maybe kind of good, so I was watching. It's a bunch of Canadians in this pool, so out of anyone aside from you would think I'm watching the most college football because they're watching hockey more, or I'm not watching hockey at all.
Yeah.
And also I live in the US, so like every show I watch is like talking college
football. They're all on.
So you'd think I'd be the number 2 or number 1 person for college football, and I absolutely bombed.
Dead last. To be fair, though, we used to kind of almost be a tradition when that's what you'd come home for Christmas and we'd go up to the hill, and that would be like our first big night out.
And that's what happened when I won.
You do your picks.
So this is what happened when I won. It was the following year, and me and Blaise just absolutely got bombed. And it's 4 a.m. and Blaise is like, "You haven't got your picks in. Games start tomorrow."
Yeah,
it's 4 a.m. and I'm making the picks, and I don't want to be in the pool because I've just been so bad the year before, and it's such a dumb pool. And I'm like, fine. I'll do the picks, and just absolutely wasted. I was so wasted. I put a college team name, like I don't know who it was. It was like BYU, but I put like I spelled it out like BEEW, and not on purpose. I was just drunk. Like it wasn't BYU, but it was something like that, right? I was like, I completely messed up the name. It was like it wasn't. It was like I spelled Yukon, like Yukon territories. Like it was something that bad, where I was just.
It's incredible.
Okay, this team will win, and then I won just picking bombs. So
yeah, you never know. That's the glory of the bowl pool. But it used to be hilarious because you'd have to put your picks in up front and you couldn't change them, and so like the line would change sometimes by a touchdown because half the dudes wouldn't be playing. I think we can change it this year. I think because obviously you're gonna have to for round 2, but I think you can go in and make picks at some point.
Speaking of which, I'm glad now we can get serious about college football. I had no idea the transfer portal opened up a week ago.
Yeah.
This is, speaking of NFL common sense police, how do we... Yeah. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, college bowl season is absolutely getting shit kicked because guys are transferring. I can also imagine NIL money. Well, twofold, sorry. Not to step too much, but NIL money is helping this and hurting this, which is hurting because if you're a player, you're like, I'm transferring and I don't want to get hurt because I'm about to make $2 million playing at Alabama or whatever. So players aren't playing. But twofold, I guess some NIL deals make you play. like the Colorado guys. I think it's built into their contract that they have to play the bowl game. Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting because it seems like it makes no sense because you've got like even the kid from Penn State. He's like, this is terrible. Like all I've ever wanted to do is play at Penn State, but like, and I don't ever want to leave my team, but I have to make this decision. And I think it's because they need to go to school in January. So they have to leave their teams because they need to be enrolled. They need to be enrolled for the next semester. Yeah.
I don't think so, because there's high school kids who like come out a year early and they like go to
I don't think they have to, but they certainly want to if they can. That's why they make the move.
Yeah.
Because then, especially if you're like a quarterback and you want to go, so now you go to spring practice and you can do everything else. So that's why it's the overlap puts these kids in a tough spot.
That's so interesting that again I can't imagine the U.S. that you can't just go into school like month 2. It's like, all right, this is this is so and so. Get him in the school and shut the fuck up.
They have to keep the facade up of them being student athletes, so they got to play the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right because the one school, I forget what, there's multiple schools, but one school they're talking about is on a quarter system.
Okay.
So the guy doesn't have to be enrolled January, February, but he can be enrolled March, April. Kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's why it's happening right now. And it's unfortunate for teams that, are in the playoff and they got guys leaving, but
yeah, and
those
just
are the rules.
All other, like now with NIL, people are just leaving left and right. So it's like, I think last year wasn't really bad. FSU had 25 players not play against Georgia.
Yeah.
And they
basically once they lost their quarterback and then they didn't get into the playoffs, all the guys were just like, well, I'm out. I'm not playing.
So, I mean, overall bowl season seems, I guess viewership's down. It just seems a little broken, but at least we have the playoff.
Yeah.
Speaking of the playoff, we got to make our picks.
Oh, okay.
I got to write these down. And before we do the picks, I got to ask you, you can't pick Notre Dame because you're a homer unless you really, really want to. But who do you think is the outsider from the main 4 that you think can win? Like, who's your dark horse? Blaise will pick Notre Dame number 1, but let's go Notre Dame. Who's after that?
Ohio State.
So that was mine, and I wasn't sure if that's allowed because it's like ranking-wise, they're a dark horse, but like playing-wise. But yeah,
they're the third team, and they're the third-ranked team, and they're brought in their conference into the thing.
Yeah, so. I wonder what the betting odds are because I bet
they were second. I think.
Oh yeah,
second or third.
All right. Well, another dark horse then. Maybe a dark horse you probably won't win, but you got to pick a dark horse.
I mean, I think Texas odds are probably worse, but I just don't think they can. I don't trust that quarterback. So it has to be Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You okay with
that? I guess so. let me. I'm trying to look up. Sorry,
not Indiana unless you think Scatabo can carry the Sun Devils, which is not going to happen against all the teams.
I'm trying to pull up the what do you call it? The futures, but it's not letting me pull up. Oh, there we go. So Oregon, Texas, Ohio. Oregon, Texas are 1A, 1B. Ohio State's 3 with Georgia. Penn State's 5th. Notre Dame 6th for betting odds.
Yeah.
Then it just drops off. Tennessee, Indiana, SMU, Arizona State, Clemson, Boise State. Ooh. I may go Boise State. They have the worst odds. Can you believe that? I would have thought.
Really?
Yeah. Boise State is plus 6,000.
Jesus.
SMU is 4,000. Indiana's 4,000. I'm going to go Tennessee, actually. Tennessee is my dark horse.
I like it.
But I think Ohio State will absolutely win. So, yeah, let's get into the bracket.
Let's get the picks.
We'll stop top left. Does they have like a west or east or some shit? Or I only see top left.
No, I think they're just doing it by numbers.
All right, top left. Tennessee, Ohio State. Who do you got?
Ohio State. And we're talking just win-lose, right? Or are we talking points?
Yeah, just win. Win-lose. I'm going Ohio State too. They go on to meet the Ducks. Ohio State Ducks, who do you have?
Ohio State.
So do I. God damn it. Everyone,
okay, fine.
Go ahead.
I'll take the Ducks.
No. You can keep on going.
No, actually, I'll take Galen Gabriel. He's the best quarterback in the thing, so I'm going to take Galen Gabriel.
Oregon. Because I was going to say, people out there, go ahead and bet the exact opposite of whatever we're doing when we're nailing it together.
Especially if we both have the same answer.
Yeah, so Oregon, OSU, we've got in the semifinal. We'll go down to the bottom left. Clemson, Texas. I assume we're both taking Texas.
Texas.
And then Texas ASU. I assume we're both taking Texas.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
ASU is going to battle, but I just don't think that they can keep up.
So we've got Texas in the semis. I'm glad maybe you took Oregon because we might end up going chalk here the whole time.
Yeah.
Top right, Indiana, Notre Dame. I think we're both taking Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is where we may vary because you're going to go with your heart, which you like to do. I'm going to go Georgia. You got Notre Dame?
Yeah, you betcha.
Okay, I'll go Georgia. Bottom right, SMU, Penn State.
Penn State.
That's what I got too, Penn State. Penn State, Boise. This might be the actual first good game. I guess you could say Notre Dame, Georgia, but...
Oh, Tennessee, Ohio State's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. Never mind. Take that back.
Yeah.
Penn State or Boise? Who do you have?
Give me the Broncos.
Ooh.
Why not?
I'm going to just... You sold me on Drew Aller, so I'm just going to take Penn
he's
State.
A stud, man. And he's staying in college.
So. Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's fair. Now we've got the semifinals. You've got Oregon versus Texas.
Yeah.
Who are you taking?
Oregon.
Okay. I'm going to ride OSU.
Okay.
I think, and also if you can bet out there, Ohio State, bet them to lose the first half and win the second half. Because any good game I've watched them play, I feel like they just do nothing in the first half.
And then they crank it up.
And then they turn it on. Okay. Top right, you've got Notre Dame versus
Boise. I'll take Notre Dame.
Okay. I've got Georgia versus Penn State. I'm going Georgia. Now we've got Oregon, Notre Dame. No.
Yeah. I've got that anyway.
Wouldn't you have I screwed this up somehow. You'd have Oregon, Texas.
No. Oregon, Notre Dame.
Okay, Oregon, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh, for the final. That's where I was screwing around. That's a fun. See, I'm glad we did this with you because mine's pretty chalk where you've got like a fun little, I guess Oregon's number 1 ranked.
Yeah. Well, so I'll take him in the final. I'm going Dylan Gabriel. I think he's just the best quarterback and they got one of the best coaches. So.
Yeah. OSU, Georgia. I think I'm just going to, I don't like where I'm going. Yeah. I've already bet Georgia to win, so I don't like that I'm like doubling down on it, but I'm going to go, I guess I'm going to go Georgia. I'm going to stick with them and not have a hedge. All right.
Wow. All right.
Got that knocked down.
And by the way, this week, in as far as the pool goes, I'm just taking the points, except for Notre Dame.
Completely agree. Yeah. Who knows what the hell's going on?
Yeah, those are big numbers.
Yeah. Well, let's jump in. This will be a bit more exciting than us listing off college football picks. Yellowstone.
Oh, it's finally over.
It's over. We went a little viral on TikTok, which I know you love TikTok.
I totally saw it.
Yeah, the take on Taylor Sheridan just being an egomaniac. Apparently, the entire world is also included in, especially women. Which I wrote this down before any of these things came in because I started thinking about it, how he's an egomaniac. And the thing with Beth, like, not to get all women's liberation, but I was like, man, you really took the strongest female character in the history of recent television.
Yeah.
And you made her strip for you when like that's not her character whatsoever. Like she would slit your throat before that.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, that like once I started thinking about more, I was like, that is absolutely so greasy.
So greasy.
And sure enough, women galore are all over my TikTok comments. Like, I guess he's been doing this in all these shows. He put himself in Lioness, which I haven't watched Lioness, but he injected himself into that. And then I guess a lot of the people don't like how he's portraying. I mean, I guess it's just across the board pretty women hatred, if you take that view, which I do for the Beth thing, absolutely. Now, but yeah, people really hate Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, no go. And it's wild because, man, he
Yeah.
is literally struck gold in this newest one too. By the way, have you started watching Landman?
I haven't, and a lot of the comments are anti-women portrayal in Landman too,
Yeah.
like the incestual and like hyper-sexualizing women. Which I mean, it's not just Taylor Sheridan; the entire world hyper-sexualizes men and women. So
Yeah.
I won't totally scoff on that, but the Beth thing I think is blasphemous.
Yeah, that thing was weird, but Landman is massive. It is amazing. But I'm more saying that because Billy Bob Thornton in it is priceless. He is so fucking funny. You're gonna love it. I laugh. I literally laugh out loud a bunch.
Yeah. And also, speaking of the Yellowstone and us going viral, it opened up a whole new door. Now we can talk anything we want: movies, series.
Perfect.
Like now we can have like
perfect.
Once football. Yeah, I love that we're. But back to Taylor Sheridan, the final season or series, final episode. Jesus Christ. How they're all hanging on his every word in the bunkhouse to end like, hey guys, it's story time for me. Yeah. I can see why Kevin Costner dipped out. I absolutely get it now. I guarantee there was a big clashing of heads.
For sure. For sure.
Just hang on my every word. And then he kind of degrades Teeter a little bit. Like, I get we make fun of her accent, but we really need to like curse her out that much. I felt that was a little harsh. So
the Jimmy stuff is funny. Like,
Jimmy stuff. Go
when
ahead.
he's like, not you, Jimmy. I don't know what gives a fuck if you die. Like, I laughed pretty hard at that.
Yes.
Like, that was
hilarious.
So some of his stuff still is gonna be, yeah, you're right. They overdo it with him, and I'm just glad it's over. That's all. I think with the finale, they did the best they could with what they had to work with. Because like I've been saying for a few weeks now, it's like they were just contracted to produce X amount of episodes for Amazon. That's really all they did because it's just been space filling bullshit for the most part.
Yeah.
And so now it's over. Mercifully, yeah, great. Everyone's happily ever after for the most part. And away we go. But I'm glad it's done. It was kind of just an episode where you're like, okay. Cool.
It was definitely pretty boring. Like it was kind of everything we thought would happen. We even called how that happened, or how the end would happen.
Yeah. And you know what though? Like, and it was one last ripoff too. Because why? Can we just let him ragdoll Jamie a little bit longer?
Yeah.
Like that's the only action we got out of Rip the whole season. And he threw him up on the table, threw him up against the wall, and then she made him stop. It's like as if Rip would stop. He would have fucking beat that guy to a pulp and then let her do it.
It was also her chance. This is what they dropped the ball twice in that season and the entire episode.
Yeah.
How did they not write in before he came in? He's like, kill me, just like you killed mine and Rip's son or daughter, or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
As Rip walks in.
Yeah.
How do they drop the ball? She needed to tell Rip about that. Now is the way. And Rip can be like, what? And plus he didn't need to sucker Jamie. Jamie can see him walking in. He's not going to be able to do anything. So, like, what did you do to my son? Tell him, you piece of shit. Tell him what you did.
Yeah.
Well, why I can't have a
acting
child?
You're doing, by the way. This is great.
Thank you. It's great. And then number 2, how they drop the ball. So Jamie has an entire crew trying to kill him.
Yeah.
People everywhere trying to kill him. No security cameras for the Attorney General. No personal security guard outside. No cameras on his street that I'm sure it's a rich ass street or anything.
No, not needed. She can go in there. And then Rip can go in, and then he can just vanish. And then, where'd he go? I guess he took his car and left.
And even Jess pointed this out, and she's not even an anti-Yellowstone like we are. She's like, wait, he didn't see the Bentley just parked out on his street? Like,
well, it is a rich neighborhood, though, like you said.
I don't think in Montana people are driving Bentleys. I think that's more of a Los Angeles. People have nice Ford pickups in Montana and Billings. Maybe like an SUV. They're not having Bentleys, so.
But there were a couple good things about the episode, though. Like Lainey Wilson. It's always nice when Lainey Wilson comes back.
So I already said I was very pro women's liberation, so women don't come after me. But how much work has Lainey Wilson got done?
Well, she's lost a lot of weight.
I guess it could be the weight too. I was wondering.
Yeah, she's lost a lot of weight.
Not like we rank how women look or how guys look. We would never do that. Other people do. We don't on this show or in life.
Don't.
But I was never really attracted to her before. Now she's like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like in that episode, I was like, oh my! It didn't. I was like, wait, is that Lainey Wilson? Because that doesn't look anything like what she used to look like.
Yeah. She
does
looks
look like
markedly different than her last appearance on the show.
Oh my god!
A lot.
And I haven't seen her since.
Yeah.
And she looks like Carrie Underwood mixed with Faith Hill.
Oh boy!
Like she literally had I was like, kind of looks like Faith Hill's daughter. Like,
yeah.
Oh my! I don't know if Faith Hill has a daughter, but
it was awesome. I do like that one. So good for Ryan. Good for Ryan. As soon as he says he has something going on, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get to see Lainey. Nice.
Yeah, Lainey's back,
nice. And she's playing in the Roadhouse. Like I thought that part was good.
Speaking of, which is a segue into the best bars in America, and she was playing at Billy Bob's, which is we'll go best venues of America first. Billy Bob's is probably the best venue in all the United States. Have you ever been? I assume not.
Once.
Oh, once? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess you spent a lot of time down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got tickets to Zach Bryan before he was full on Zach Bryan. I couldn't have gone. Something came up. I think it was work stuff. But I had tickets to watch Zach Bryan at Billy Bob's. So Billy Bob's is 1A, 1B the Ryman in Nashville.
Okay.
So that's like one of the most famous venues in all the United States. And then Red Rocks, I think, in Denver have to be.
That looks so wicked.
Yeah. So I think those are the three best venues in North America. There's supposed to be this place in Tennessee. Sorry, I got a dog barking in the background. A venue called the Caverns. I think it's kind of new, but it's truly in like a tunnel cavern in Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a venue. Is there any cool venues in Canada these days? I feel like stuff's popping up here and there.
Yeah,
but
it's more so. It's all just basically outdoor based. Like there's none of the natural features like you get at Red Rock or anything like that. It's more just kind of the outdoor stages and whatnot. But you get such a shorter season that you can actually enjoy that kind of stuff this time of year. So.
Yeah. And speaking of Billy Bob's, I also bought tickets. And speaking of Yellowstone, to Shane Smith and the Saints. I'm there for work April 4th. And I saw Lainey on last night at Billy Bob's. It's like, oh my God, I forgot I'm going to be there. And I went online and there was like only 3 tickets. It's April 4th. Only 3 single tickets left on like the actual. So I just bought a single ticket. Yeah. I'm sure someone else will buy a single ticket and meet me there and we'll go. Yeah. Mike or someone. So yeah. So Shane Smith and Saints, come and watch it.
So what else did you think on the episode? Is that it? Are we wrapping that?
I liked the anti-opioid bit. I thought that was really socially poignant that we were anti-opioids, especially Beth, who's addicted to alcohol. So it was nice she doesn't also have a drug addiction.
Pours the vodka in her smoothie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good.
I guess Native Americans don't use cars, and they use like the branches to cover the horse tracks, but then they drug the poles across the ground and
there was a lot in that scene.
I assume that the things don't corrode or rust because they're most supposed to go underground, but I still felt like okay, they're polluting the environment and they're polluting their own lake that they're supposed to care about. So I just I don't know. So that was all right. What else did you have?
That's about it. I mean, like I said, glad it's over. I like Mo. So as soon as he took off, I knew he was going down to save the cemetery from those little peckerhead kids.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have that. That was good. I could have done without seeing the full dismantling of all the lodge and everything else like that. Like it seemed kind of pointless to me, but I guess that's how they want it. They want it just to be back to just the land, but it seems a shame that hopefully they don't tear the whole building down. Like, why would they not use it for some sort of educational purposes or something like that? But
I heard that's like a thing that was happening in Canada recently where they're taking apart and then they put it back to the earth or something like that. So I think it has to be some sort of religious ceremony thing.
Who knows?
Switching gears. So. Yeah. Switching gears. I don't understand why Jamie had 17 gallons of milk in his fridge. That seemed really odd to me.
Well, he had the backup carton, right?
The backup carton. Okay.
You never know when you're going to get maced. Could be like a kid that he has that he never sees, right? He's never over there. Yeah, I don't know. It was good to see Jamie get his, though. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I wish the beating would have lasted longer. That needed to happen.
And since we're now TV aficionados, famous TV series analysts, where does Yellowstone rank, or is it ranked in your top 5 series of all time, or top 10, I guess?
It's so tainted based on that last season struggles. Obviously, Sopranos number 1, Game of Thrones number 2. I would say it's Yellowstone's probably in the top 5.
Yeah.
I know we're just getting into Landman, but it is fucking fantastic. You're gonna love it. I think you're gonna really like it, especially like you said, it's around your old college area. You're gonna like it. There's some good stuff in there. I don't know what else would be in there. Before that, it's like sitcoms and stuff, right?
Yeah, I guess we can include. Let everyone know you can include sitcoms like Friends or ER or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to think. I've never watched, but everyone says it's number 1, and I was too late to watching series to watch. Who is your number 1 again? Sopranos.
Sopranos. Yeah.
I've never watched The Sopranos.
Oh, so it's amazing.
I've heard that's number 1, so I'll stick with that. Amazing. I'll stick with your number 2. So my number 1 would be Game of Thrones, but
yeah.
I get Breaking Bad might have to be a 5th or a 4th.
Yeah, I didn't watch all that. I watched a lot of it. I didn't watch all of it, but Mayor of Kingstown I'm watching now. It's solid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A lot of killing. It's kind of getting old a little bit. I'm like, okay.
True.
But it's funny that you mentioned Lioness earlier, and I don't want to give too much of a shout out to your boy, but the first season was awesome, and the second season has started out with a bang. So
okay.
Yeah. But Landman, you need we'll give you a break over the Christmas holidays you're not getting to, but then after that you need to get updated on Landman because it is priceless.
I'll start. Well, I've got Jess. Ozark is almost in there, but it went on too long on my list. But
first 2 seasons of Ozark, tremendous.
Yeah, and it starts to dip. So Ozark, so we're watching that because she needs to watch it. And now she's obsessed. So
good.
I'll try and sprinkle a Landman episode because like you binge it and then it's gone. So I try to sprinkle in some other things in the Ozark.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll sprinkle in like an episode of Landman in there.
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't know that they didn't do the whole season because I was watching and then all of a sudden watched like 2 episodes last week and I was like, oh, that's it? So I'm hoping there's more coming this week. But
yeah. I never watched Lost, but people loved Lost.
Nah, I didn't watch Lost. I didn't watch a lot of network stuff.
Yeah. One I watched that went on, it has the mantle or the trophy for going on far too long.
Yeah.
Was Walking Dead. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
It was. Did you watch it all?
No, I'm not a zombie guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was so good.
The first zombies or snakes. Yeah.
I didn't know the zombies thing. That's weird.
I just don't see the point. I'm like, okay, here we go, more zombies. That's like The Last of Us that was on. Like, it was okay, but I'm like, okay, here's the zombies again.
I can't believe you're anti-zombie. I've known you for this long. Anti-zombie.
I mean, it's just I don't see the point.
No, anyone who ever wants to meet Blaise, no onions, no snakes, and no zombies. So don't bring those. Don't bring those 3 things to any meet and greets you have.
Fine. Yeah. Hey, speaking of, I had to educate some of these idiots on the weekend. Where an onion thing came up on some nachos or something, and they're like, "Well, no, you can have them. They're just leeks." I'm like, "Those are onions." Like, no. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, leeks are green onions. Like, no, they're not. They're totally different.
Huh.
It's just like, fuck, guys.
Yeah.
No, leeks and green onions are the same thing.
Yeah. That's like saying onions and green onions are different. It's like, no, it's the same, different kind of flavor, maybe
same
touch.
Disgustingness.
But, yeah. One last one. Mad Men people liked? I tried watching it.
I watched a fair bit of it, not a ton. I just like,
I felt like it was the same episode every week. Like, oh, we've got this new case.
Okay.
And it's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah. I'm sure there's another one. There's another couple that I'm missing. I just can't think about right now. I'm still a little foggy, but I know there is a couple. There's another one that I'm missing a couple of.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Number 3 on our list. It's on both of our lists. I meant to bring this up. The one in New York, where their dad's business. It's one of the best. It was on HBO. It's one of the best of all time.
Billions?
No. They're taking over their dad's business.
Oh, Succession.
Succession. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm like, the word means taking over their dad's business. Why can't I think of it?
Yes. Succession is
Okay.
Succession is very good. Loved Succession.
All right, so let's read top 5. Oh,
and I got another one.
Okay.
I don't know if you got
Peaky
into
Blinders.
I didn't watch all that, but
ooh,
Ray Donovan.
Oh no, I didn't watch that at all.
Ray Donovan was good. It was twisted, but it was good.
Okay. Another one that people liked was Sons of Anarchy, The Wire, Dexter.
I watched a lot of The Wire. It was good.
Yeah, I watched The Wire, all of it, but I watched it too late because I think I watched it last year or 2 years ago, and then
Okay.
I think it's what started in the 2000s. It was
Oh
just
yeah.
everything was just so behind the times. It was still good, but it was like watching everything in standard definition
Totally.
TV.
What was the cop, or like the cop thriller that was on HBO, and then they change actors every year?
Oh, I don't
Uh,
know.
the first season was awesome. It was Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. True
Oh, I never
Detective.
watched it. Okay.
True Detective. It's really good. And then they started changing the like different characters, and I
Hmm.
lost interest. But the first season of True Detective was good.
One other thing we forgot, but it wasn't that long. Entourage.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, you kind of said no
Ooh.
comedies though.
Oh
Well,
no, I was saying like no sitcoms on like the like
okay,
Friends,
yeah,
on.
yeah. No, Entourage is in my top 5.
Okay, so we went through the best series. So now let me recap. Top 5 series of all time. Mine, Sopranos, I have not watched. I assume it'd be my top 5, so we'll leave that out. Number 1, Game of Thrones. Number 2, I'm gonna go Yellowstone, even though I didn't love this final season. It just was in my life for so long, and it's
Yeah.
got the spin-offs, which we got. So that was great. We also got some extra shows that way. 3, Succession, incredible. Also, the best acting, I think, by far in any season or series we've ever seen. I think the acting was like the most next level stuff.
Yeah.
Also, if you're watching it, you've never watched it, the first 3 episodes are kind of hard to watch.
Oh
It gets
yeah.
much better. Even the first season actually was kind of bad, but then it gets so much better after that. So take our word for it. Then I'm going Entourage, number 4.
Okay.
And then number 5 is a bit of a tie, a cop out, but I've got like Peaky Blinders, Breaking Bad, maybe Ozark. And then at the end, I've got maybe a Walking Dead and Homeland honorable mention. I'm sure I'm forgetting one in there, but that's
All
my
right.
list.
All right. I'm going number 1, Sopranos. No brainer. Number 2, Game of Thrones. Just like Yellowstone, this last season sucked, but up until that, absolute banger. Number 3, just if you're gonna say that the spin-offs count, I thought 1923 was spectacular. I can't wait till it comes back, so I'll say Yellowstone is number 3. Number 4, Entourage. It was just in my life just for way too many good years. And then number 5, Succession. And I
Nice.
agree. The acting in Succession is so good. And also just I love how many scenes they just rub in the absolute uh, filthy amount of money and just completely disdain for spending that this family had. Like how they just show up to these just remote cabins, and there's a fucking staff of 40 people there, just like making all this extravagant meals and everything, and then they like have a blow up at dinner, so don't eat anything, and then all of it just gets thrown in the garbage, like just shit like that just cracked me up. I loved it. I thought it was so funny.
That's what made it so good too, because it was it also just poked fun about like the real world. Like it actually had a true overarching symbol, I guess, of like actual life.
Yeah.
And also what's it called? Like where it's a sad show for a couple like characters. Like it was a true, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it was a play on their sadness. And I
Yeah.
can't
For some of it.
Yeah, and I can't remember the word for Succession, and now I can't remember this word either. But it was. And I have a journalism degree and a master's in communications, but
Yeah. Nailed it. Really nailing it.
But yeah, so it was cool that it also just showed their sadness and all that kind of stuff. It was great.
Yeah. Okay,
All
but get
right.
into a couple episodes of Landman before we film again, before
Okay.
we record again,
All right.
because it's outstanding. You're gonna love the lawyer, and
Ooh.
well, I know we're probably gonna get in trouble because we're doing the whole Taylor Sheridan and women thing, but I think he actually portrays him in a pretty good light. Like he's got gorgeous women in it. Like the daughter is insanely good looking, and then the ex-wife is whipped cream bikini.
Oh,
From
really?
Reservoir
Oh,
Blood,
yeah.
yes, and Ali Lerter, and she looks fantastic still, and is hilarious. Like she's actually quite funny. It's actually really good acting from her. I find like she does a really good job with it. So I think you're gonna absolutely enjoy it.
And Ali Larter hasn't been anything for some time. Like
No,
she
no, And she pops up in this, and you're just like, the first time they show her, he's just on like a FaceTime call, and then when she actually does come in and you can see her in person, she's like, whoa, okay, she's still got her fastball.
That's right. I heard people joking about it that they couldn't afford Ali Larter in person. They just had to do all of her acting through FaceTime.
Yeah, it's good. You're gonna like it. I think you're gonna.
All right.
Billy Bob is absolutely hilarious in it. It's so good.
Nice. Did you watch the new Gladiator movie?
No, it was disappointing.
We won't stick to movies too long, but since we're now famous for talking shows and movies, it was actually pretty good. Like the storyline and everything was good. It was because you go into expecting not to be good.
Yeah.
So I won't ruin it all, but they ended up being kind of good. And this doesn't plot ruin anything. They just skip corners in weird ways. So there's like a shark and a ship scene where they do a battle like in the water.
Yeah.
But it's in the Coliseum. So they on the dirt Coliseum, and the sharks know when someone's in the water immediately, so they like go attack you. So I'm like, now we've got trained sharks, and they're turning these massive ships inside the Coliseum, which I don't think you can really do because I'm not like a nautical person, but I don't think you can.
No.
They're like doing the row. They got like 70 people rowing. I'm like, that fills up the whole Coliseum, number one.
Plus, and these sharks. Can I back up a little bit? These motherfuckers, they don't even have plumbing yet. They don't even have any kind of running water, and you're telling me they figured out a way to fill up the Coliseum with water?
With sharks with lasers on their freaking
heads. I'm concerned about the water to me. Like the shark, like how did they get that there?
And so that could have been left out. I thought that was a very bizarre scene.
Yeah.
And then they had like CGI'd monkeys, and the monkeys looked like half zombie monkeys.
Oh no.
And you could tell they were CGI'd. And I was thinking the original Gladiator, it was like real life. Like everything was very well done and portrayed.
Yeah.
So they cut those two corners, and then they would show clips of the stands, and it was like they only had enough money for like 30 people in the stands. So they would just do like a quick shot of like this one little area, like rows F through A, and that's all you got to see.
The same ones?
Yeah, kind of. And I was like, the Coliseum's pretty big. Why are we just zooming in on these 15? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, they used all the money on the water budget, apparently.
Yeah, the water budget and the sharks with lasers on their heads. Who knew that you could attack people instantly?
Yeah.
So if you go by those two things, it was actually pretty good.
Okay, I will watch. Like it'll be. Is it one of those ones you got to see it in theater or nah?
No. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a bit better, but
like do you guys even have movie theaters down there?
No, I definitely do not have a movie theater anywhere where I live.
Yes, you had to just watch a pirated version.
Exactly, I did. That's maybe why the CGI looks so bad, because I was watching the pirated version that made it even worse.
Well, I'll go and get some popcorn and watch it in an actual movie theater in the comfy chair, and then I'll let you know if it was real or not. There probably is. You know what? I can't wait when I go see it in the theater. This whole fucking ocean scene you're talking about is not even going to exist. This is just some pirated bullshit that you saw where they just like, hey, let's throw this in, and we're going to trick these fuckers who were too lazy to go to the movie theater, and we're going to pretend that they're just actually believing that there's just a shark tank in the Coliseum. So that's not even going to be in the actual movie.
This is all I saw. This is all I saw too. You can't watch it, but it was just like puppets, like, I'm gonna get you. Some guy with puppets, sharks on his.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna come out and be like, yeah, Fraser, it's just like I thought. There was no sharks in the Coliseum. Okay, that's not happening.
That's probably what happened. So yeah, Gladiator 2. So yeah, cut corners. Aside from that, last thing on movies, we may have to cut out NFL picks for Week 15 altogether because
I've been shit at them anyway.
Movie time. This has been a pet peeve of mine for years, and it started with original Batman. What's his name?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Yep. So Michael Keaton is the original movie Batman.
Yeah.
My Batman, because I didn't watch the 70s
show.
Huge, right? Like, love him. And then he turns into this fucking bird character in like a superhero movie, and he's trying to kill Spider-Man, I think it was, or whoever it was.
Yeah. I'm
like, Michael Keaton, first of all, that should be illegal. You cannot do this. You can't go from original Batman to some shitty D-list villain. I'm like, what are you doing? It's so bad. And now they're doing it with Robert Downey Jr.
No.
He's Victor Von Doom.
Oh,
in the next Marvel. So now he's the villain. I'm like, what?
He's Iron Man.
Yeah. How do you? And
that's no good.
It's not even like he went to DC and he's like a DC, so it's a separate universe. It's the same universe. You can't be Iron Man and Victor Von Doom in the same universe.
That's no good at all.
And I read the comics back, so I could be forgetting this, but because I read them a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being like an Iron Man gets turned into Victor Von Doom in some roundabout bad way, like he got sucked into some universe. So it is Iron Man.
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure that's not the case. So hopefully no one sewers me for this and says you're an idiot. That is Iron Man.
Well, Iron Man's dead. I just watched that Avengers the other day.
So Victor Von Doom, and he's actually the most. I used to have Marvel cards. I still have them actually, a full category collection of them. Victor Von Doom was like the highest rated evil superhero. Like he was like a 5-star in every way to kill you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So he's a bad guy. So
that's I don't care. Wrong. That's wrong. Is it? I mean, is he at least just gonna be covered so much in makeup you just can't tell?
Well, Victor Von Doom has a full mask, so that's fair.
All right. So as long as we can't see his face, like
still bullshit.
It's weird, but at least we're not gonna like see his face and he's gonna be like, that's Tony Stark.
Yeah. Or what we can do, I mean, why stop there? I've seen Robert Downey Jr. play a few different roles.
Yeah.
Next, he's going to be fucking, I'm sure, Black Panther. I mean, why not? Let's just throw him in there. You know what?
Well, I don't know if that's the best example.
I mean, shoot, he was in Tropic Thunder. He was playing an African American.
That's true. That is true. He could be Blackface Panther.
He could be Black Panther. And
Blackface
you know
Panther.
What?
Blackface Panther.
And Blackface Panther. And no one cancel him either, because you know what? In today's day and age, you can be whatever you want.
You can be whatever you want.
Pineapple.
You can be whatever you want. That's so true.
I may cut that end out because we're on a good thing there, and then we'd maybe turn racist. I don't know.
I don't think we turn racist. It's like you can't be anything you want. Science says what you can be. Stop it.
All right. Well, since we're going down to, I sent you this, the biggest hoax of all time, and I'm not going to get anything political. It's just something dumb I've noticed, and it's been enough time that we can be like, okay, this is a hoax. This is dumb.
Okay.
Before we get into the biggest hoax of all time, do you get COVID commercials? This is also kind of similar. Are there COVID commercials in Canada or no? Because it's very American to have. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because the
Might
U.S.
be the odd vaccine commercial still every now and then.
Okay.
But I'm not a big commercial guy, so I don't know. Like I don't watch hardly anything that. The only thing I watch is if there's sports on, and if it's like football, then I'm usually at another football game. So I don't watch a whole lot of commercials anyway.
Yeah, so the only time I see is the NFL, and the NFL is just like sponsored by COVID vaccines. It's just nonstop, like dumped down your throats. And I wasn't sure because the U.S. is that bad in general for like medical or pill commercials. So that's just like the medical world we live in down in the U.S.
It's not that much up here anymore.
No, because it's like illegal, right? Like, well, no, it's not. I think it might be illegal, but I also think it's not a profit. It's not for a profit system. So
yeah.
So that's what I just don't like. Like COVID is being forced down your throat as like a marketing commercial.
Oh, we know. You don't even talk about it anymore up here. It hasn't been a thing for a long time.
And that's fine if you want to do all your COVID stuff, but I just don't understand. Like I'll hear it from a doctor. I don't need to hear it from what's his name on TV telling me I need to take it.
Yeah.
But that's not my hoax. Sorry to go out on a COVID tangent. My greatest hoax of all time: straws saving the turtles.
Oh fuck!
Can I get some numbers on the turtles saved? Can I see like before and after pictures of like, look at all these turtles that are alive?
Yeah. You can get numbers, all right. You can get the numbers of the people who own the wooden and paper straw companies that got to these politicians and made the money. That's where the numbers are.
Yeah.
That's the numbers of dollars that those people made because they sold their plastic stocks and they bought the paper. And that's the numbers you get to see. Well, you don't get to see them, but those are the only numbers that are there.
And the same people who own all the McDonald's in the world and all everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And they just don't want to pay for plastic straws anymore. It's like, you know what? We just saved $1 million on not buying straws by telling people you don't need them because it's killing sea turtles left and right.
I fucking
one of what's killing sea turtles is like, sea turtle is like all the plastic in the ocean, which yes, straws are plastic, but I mean, there's a lot more that's killing sea turtles than these straws because you have one picture of a straw going through its nose one time.
Yeah, one time. Oh, don't even get me started. I hate them so much. Yeah. Like it's nonsense. Although I have to say, I don't mind the new cups, the new lids that they have with like a little tab, so you can sip out of it. It doesn't spill everywhere. Like I don't know if you have those, but like they have them at like Costco now, where it's just like a little tab. So you flip the tab back, so it's just a lid, but you can so you can tip it all the way back, but it only comes out of the one little spout. So you don't actually need a straw, but at least it's plastic still. So I don't mind that. I'd way rather that than a paper straw. Like you want to go and get like a protein shake, and then you got to slurp it through a paper straw, and it's all fucking soggy, and God, it just drives me nuts.
Or like a Caesar with a paper straw, I would kill someone.
I won't do it.
If someone gives me a Caesar with a paper straw, I will slit their throats.
I don't need a straw for a Caesar anyway because I like the salt. So
I'm coming home and I'm like, oh, I can't wait. All I want is a Caesar. It's like when I'm craving those and some ketchup chips. And they're like, yeah, you know what? Ketchup chips, there's too much plastic in the bag. And so we got rid of those, and we got rid of straws. Here's your paper straw.
Here's your paper straw with your Caesar. It's now soggy, by the way. And the red from the Caesar is permanently a red straw. It's just fucking soaked right in. Really so congratulations on what you're drinking. Speaking of what you miss, I literally just polished off a Sub City Donair right before we got on here. I know. I figured you'd like that. It was delicious.
Oh yeah, that must have been great for the post weekend.
Yeah, well, lots of veggies, right? I throw lots of veggies on there because I haven't had a lot of those for a few days. Oh. I think all we ate on Sunday was wings. That was it.
That's fair.
The whole day.
Speaking of which, down here you asked two things. One, we don't have wings, which kills me.
Yeah.
Down in Costa Rica, and two, you asked if what do we have balloons?
Why is there balloons?
Why do we have balloons?
That's the chickens celebrating. Like, yeah, we live a lot longer down here, you pricks.
Anyone who's listening to this only, apparently there's balloons on my screen if you post up peace signs or something.
As soon as he broke the chicken news, they just released a bunch of balloons. They're all happy.
It's like the Chick-fil-A cows. They're coming all happy.
Yeah.
But also you asked if we have cups with lids down here that are fancy. It's like, no, we have I drink out of like a plastic bag with a straw.
Well, it's sunny at least.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's what
Good stuff. We got through the list.
We had a long one. What is this? 2 hours? Yeah. We'll do a separate one.
You got a lot of editing to do.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we'll save picks. Go. Have a good week.
Yeah, everyone. Going to college football. We're going to be busy anyway, and then next week, actually, your parents might even be up at the place when I'll film next week. We'll get Ricky to drop in quickly.
Nice, perfect. Yeah, big talker. I can't wait. He'll have tons to say.
Yeah, probably go over 2 hours with him there.
Yeah, exactly. I have to do a part 1 and a part 2.
Rick, what are your thoughts on the subject? Yeah, I like it. Okay.
back to you in the studio.
Back to you in the studio,
guys. All right. Well, see you guys later. Fraser LeVay Podcast, faneverland.com.